My dearest sister, it is nearly impossible to express the extraordinary amount of excitement there is in the camp and in myself, knowing that we are finally approaching our destination. Soon we will charter a ship and land in Zaporizhia. It is a domain of horse lords, but for a short time, according to the local word, it was part of the kingdom of Ruthenia and ruled by a Vardoski, a Russian from our family. These same people say that the great kingdom north of it, known as Ruthenia, still has his descendants as king. It feels like it should be something out of legend, but according to them, this great king of Ruthenia died only a few months before I set out on my journey. I wish I could have met him. I hope that his son greets us with open arms. Hello and welcome back, friends. My name is Hunter and we are playing the Valenciano Ducks again. Oh, Master Bernard Hugh, we are going to find you a boat. A boat to some place of your families soon. You have the money, you have the supplies, and we could just go right there now. I think we spent enough time in Egypt. We had a good feeling of it last episode, right? I think we would regret it if we didn't stop in Constantinople on the way, so we will. So that's going to be our first destination, the Great City. On the way to the Great City. Actually, no. I was going to say we're going to visit all these locations, but I don't think that's correct. This is not going to be our long trip to Greece if we have one. It's going to be our shortcut. Scheme is trying to murder Titri. Well, please don't murder. I have a second son. I didn't even know my wife was pregnant. I should be paying more attention. We're just going to name him Bernard. We'll leave the Hugh off. I think that's good for me. A second son. He is a blonde boy. Like his father. We don't need to be on 4 anymore. Thought I selected to move here, but I guess I didn't. I must have done that thing where you select a thing, but then don't do it. You know, that thing. Of course, we're going to go by sea because we are a seagoing people. Actually, there's no reason to go by land here. It wouldn't make any sense. It would be unnecessarily obtuse to try to get there by land. Let's take a look at our followers right now. We have so many. We, of course, have our brother, William the Blind. We have Awa, the wife of this dead man. She is all right. Not sure where we even picked her up, but we got lots of followers like that at this point. We have Hawa. She is the wife of Lasuk, one of our knights. We have Hamid, our bodyguard, the giant, learning from example. So our daughter can learn from our second in command, our quartermaster, or our chief forger. Education wise, she is doing learning. So I guess the forager would be best. So we'll have her learn under the forager. This seems good. At least the first time. In the future, we might give her other decisions, because we don't need to super stack her learning. Is there even an empire left? Nah. Wait, there is. Look at this. This is all that remains. Wow. The dream of empire is dead, and it has been replaced by a land of turmoil. Yep. There is no clear leadership in this region at all anymore. Tiny kingdoms, independent duchies, even independent counties. It's wild out there. This is, of course, the sheikdom of Byzantium, because this guy is Greek, but he is Metridi, interestingly enough. One of the greatest places for civilization left on the earth, and it's been thrown into disarray. Complete and utter disarray. Well, it's disappointing, but it's not why we came. Oh, she succeeded this time. Good job. That refills us fully. Let's go into the city, of course. Let us have a look at Constantinople Castle. Do we need anybody? These guys are not talented enough for how expensive they are. On second thought, let's go to the tavern. We'll hear a story. We will try to learn more so that our hostiler trait can get better. So our wit can go up. Where are we on our wit now? Oh, we're well into 1. We're also well on our way to 2 for horse, which makes sense because we won that tournament. Sadly, tournaments are pretty rare unless you can spawn them yourself, so we haven't seen another. Let's see who's up for recruitment. Who are these women? 21-year-old. She's a seducer. She has a high intrigue trait. It's Greek Orthodox. It's the wife of that other guy. The guy from the fort. And then we have this woman. They're all so expensive, and our camp is already so full. No, I think we'll just move on. Do we want to stay here and do some work? There doesn't look like there's any jobs. We could try to spawn some. Or we could just move on, right? Land in the capital of Zaporizhia, a land that we were told was once ruled by our family, but there's little evidence of that now. Let's, or we could hear ruins. We could hear rumors of the the powerful son of Prince Alexander. Visit him. Got one sickly boy and some pretty good children, to be fair. Let's do it. Let's go and visit Alexander here. Well, I mean Alexander's son, because Alexander is long since gone. Let's go. Yes, Greece is in collapse. The empire is no more. There might not even be a dream of empire there anymore. Just does not feel like this this one county empire can last much longer. Eventually, someone's gonna get it into their head that they need this. This is his son? Well, I don't know about that. Might be possible to reestablish a Greek church. It isn't fair, so she's mad. She wants to live in a house like other rich people. I know that you wish that things were different, but it is what it is. And we have a happy life here. So, Isabel, please. She calms down. Good. She lost most of the stress too, which is also good. Right. So, we are here. This is a province that Vyacheslav helped to develop. One of these forts was built by him. I think this city was built by him as well. Now the young man is having some troubles. Well, let's go in and see if we can't find some work here. Town crier might have some work. Collaborator, how interesting. Organization, yeah, stewardship contracts is exactly right. Let's look. So we got boundary disputes. Oh, scheme at the camp. Grave news. My bodyguard Hamid is scheming against my follower. Retreat. Yeah, no murdering, okay? You deserve public condemnation for your attempts to murder our followers. Let's start here. This is a boundary dispute. Let's head up there. I'm not too worried about the desert, so we'll just go. We'll just go. Are we gonna spend some time in Kiev, or should we just visit it and then try to determine what our future will be? Seems a simple enough problem. Yes. Thank you. We shall head out. Currently run by a young queen, so there's been a lot of upheaval in the kingdom, or what remains of the kingdom of Zaporizhia. They simply could not hold it. Always curious about how the Mongols are doing. At the edge of camp, my path back from the mess takes me close to the camp's edge, where the shouts and screams of children at play draw my attention. My son, Udelard, is leading several others in what appears to be a fairly tense game of knucklebones. Every other throw, someone announces a new rule, and the rest boo or cheer on, whether they approve it. After a moment, Udelard catches sight of me. The boy beams in my direction, clearly hovering between taking his playmates back towards the camp or pushing out a little further into the wilds. Stay within sight. We want him to be learned. Go on, explore. Go on, boy, explore. It's good for you. Settle another boundary dispute. So the rumors are true. There really were ancestors of ours here, and some of them still rule. Apparently a great king 1 generation or 2 generations ago built a lot of the infrastructure in this region. Arbitration, double dues. All right, well, we will fix it, of course, with our great stewardship. And the question becomes, do we let our son inherit the camp, or do we try to find some place to settle? We are an old man, after all. Come down here. That's a raised building. We'll do the boundary disputes first, because they were older and they are extraordinarily useful. Far and wide here. Maybe we go for a hike after we finish this work, because we haven't been on one yet. But we do want to do a bunch of jobs. Gather some wealth, increase the camp. Let's see. We get safety from the camp perimeter, so that's what we'll do right now. Arbitration, favorable pasturage. We'll settle the pasturage dispute. Then we will do this next. Okay. Seems a simple enough problem. We will do this as well. Our distant relative seems to like us quite a bit. We're going to try to befriend the son of Alexander, Sheikh Daniil. So it is true, you came here. I was wondering whether you would. Sheikh Daniil, you've heard of me. I have. Wandering around the world, bear not Hugh, descendant of Demetrius the Bard. Yes, your fame started to spread not that long ago. In fact, some people are already calling you a legendary figure. Oh, no, not at all. What I find most intriguing, sir, is that you, until you got here, did not know for certain the history of our family. Such a tragedy. I have a great deal I can teach you. Good. And you know, the places that I go, that my scholars are, they do tend to quickly attract new population. I think your domain will be greatly served by our presence. We're really helping them develop fast. We're like pumping development here. He doesn't even, like, it's not even why we're here. We're just doing it. We're just pumping in the development. It's fine. Let's do this one now. Oh, that's a census. No, we just did a work for her. We'll do this. Raised building. We're trying to get to know the area. We're trying to get closer to Alexander. The closer we get to Alexander, the more likely we're going to figure out what we want to know, which is the truth of our historic origin. He definitely tells us that Demetrius the Bard was real, but I don't think he knows that much about him, because the book still lies in the hands of the King of Kiev, I assume. Blend it with herbs from Valenciano cuisine. Yes, you can. It might be good for us to get used to the food in the region, to be fair, because we're going to be here for a while, right? Travel to accept the contract. Does make me wonder. There it is. There it is. It'll be an even fight. That's not our way. We really want it. We really want it. Amateur architecture. Okay, let's do it. So our first draftsman will be Sugoi, one of our many monks. One of our other many monks. Our bailiff will be one of our other many monks. Our planner will be Constantia. And our supplier, I guess we're letting the monks handle this one. All right. Well, we're going to be here for a bit. I think we've done enough work, though. So when we get back, we're going to do 2 adventures. We're going to do a hike in the region, and then we're going to do a monument mission, a monument journey to the Golden Gates of Kiev. And then we're going to take a look at the book and make some decisions about who we are. Maybe we should write our own book. Maybe we should start our own tale. That might be right. We're gonna have to decide what path we follow too. Okay, so these two might become friends. We will encourage the friendship because it gives us a stress down. They happily accept the encouragement, which is nice. Make a request for gold. Make a request for gold. Make a request for gold. And make a request for gold. Then we're gonna transform that gold into military might. So we have crossbowmen. I'd like to increase them 3. I'd like to increase our armored footmen to 3. Oh, don't have the money. Fine. Weird that we have camel riders, but it's cool as well. I think we've been doing well though, right? Oh wow, this has been going so fast I didn't even notice we're already at 20. Wow, that's very fast. And it's 100% too. We have built this building. We lingered a lot longer than necessary building that building. A nose for trouble, so Uladard is getting in trouble with his dog. A boy and his dog, yes. He can keep his dog, that's fine. Success, befriend, mutual understanding. So we are now friends with Alexander's son. This has been an exceedingly pleasing new friendship, Master Bernard Hugh. I am so glad that you came here. I am too. I hadn't expected to find so many with the same spirit of me, of adventure in this place, but I should have. It is, after all, a frontier, and frontiers draw adventurous people. Yes, they also birth adventurous people, and you must now acknowledge that this is where you came from. The city of Kiev is the birthplace of Demetrius the Bard, who in the early parts of his journey was known as Demetrius the Bastard. Yes, it is exciting and wonderful to know that he was able to make so much of himself simply by traveling, meeting people, bringing them together, and then receiving thanks for all of the favors he'd earned. The entirety of Valencia, the entire kingdom of Valencia, owes its existence to his decisions, as does the kingdom of Ruthenia, where my cousin rules, as does the kingdom of Zaporizhia, even if it was robbed from my father when I was a young man. Do you resent that? No, not most times. I have done well. This territory that I held, it was very specially developed by my grandfather for my father to hold, and I have enjoyed ruling here very much. Sheikh Daniel, we should learn the local language. So it is by the campfire. My daughter is telling a story. I will, of course, as I always do, tell my own story. This one is going to be about my decision to leave the comfort of my sister's hall up in Brittany and travel to Africa to better myself and all of the wonderful people I met on the way, many of whom are here and we talk with during the process. It's wonderful. It's a great story and everyone always loves it. Let's create a work of learning. Yes. All right. We definitely need money. Yeah, we don't care about this. Whoop. What? No! No, we got caught. I guess the reason to not do that is to not get caught. Still, fine. I mean, we are an adventurer. Don't adventurers rob graves? Is that not normal? I don't actually see it. Is it somehow like on our camp? Most of our complacent followers are monks and everybody else loves us. Some people only just like us a whole lot. Okay, well, it's fine. You know, it's probably a heathen grave. I tell the Christians so they get a little less mad. My creation will be exhausted. Yeah, we're gonna try to get 5 chapters. Of course we are, because we are a great scholar, and we need to leave these books and translations behind. That's what makes everyone remember us, right? This is gonna show who we are to the future. I have plenty of traveling stories to tell. S is for stewardship, my kind of topic. They're all about the same. 1 extra % for our mind, so we'll use our mind. Terrific chapter. Excellent. Let's talk about the wonders we've seen for a free chapter. Always want to do that. We can dazzle them with our knowledge. Another terrific chapter. Another terrific chapter. We are just expounding upon everything we've learned. We're going to talk so much about what we discovered in Africa, and we're definitely going to take the freebie, and we're going to write a book of spectacular quality. And this man, this Bulgarian Orthodox man, he can tell everybody that the great Bernard Hugh of the Valenciano Ducks wrote him a book. Can show it off. I mean, it is a wonderful, wonderful piece of work. Okay, do we need, yeah, you can join the camp, sure. It's not that expensive. 2 children lack guardians that need them. This is our daughter, who is 7. She is pensive. Kind of our brother do it. And this is our granddaughter, who is 6. And she wants someone who's a warrior, so we'll have the giant. There we go. And we can now use our money to once again increase our troop quality, size. At least in the potentials, right? Now, I think we will also use our provisions to fill them up. Feeling like quite the strong little camp, aren't we? Development growth in the Sikdom of Yilki Su. We've been really helping this place out, to be fair. It's got up at least 2, possibly more since we got here. It's becoming extraordinarily developed. And we're not done yet. We're not leaving yet, so let's go on our hike first. Oh, we don't have enough money. Shoot. We spent all of our money on troops, and now we have to do more work before we can go on the hike. Fine. Small group traveled faster. Yeah, we don't need to bring everybody with us. It's fine. Okay. We can ask our head of faith for gold. That'll solve some of our problems, too. What has happened with this contract? Why are we not doing anything? We're not doing that. Okay. Usually when this goes bad, there's a little thing you can click that's just like, hey, you want to move? Thank you, and I am charming, sir. Friendly clamor. Check out the stores, get a meal, walk along the perimeter, watching the watchman, +3 intrigue, eat with the camp, torture opinion, provisions all in order, provision use. I think we're gonna eat with the camp. I think we're gonna have to abandon this because I can't see what we're supposed to, how we're supposed to go there. We could take this fight corruption. Let me deal with them, yes, of course. Start traveling. Here we go. Time to use our resources to help fight corruption. We will take travel companion, or we could take of the people. Let's do of the people, I like that. Hopefully we will be able to pay for our little hike and then our little trip afterwards. Silence your people or die. Yeah, it's your job. You're a peasant. This is your life. I'm sorry you don't like it, but it is as willed by God. Okay, well, that was fast. Good. Now we can go for a hike. So let's go for a hike. Not a hunt, a hike. Go for a hike. Go to this place with no holding. It'll be real fun. Traveling companion. Who would we bring with us? Our wife. We could bring Yusana with us. You know, our daughter. I think that's a good idea. Let's hike. Finally, the open road lies before me. Soon I shall set foot in the endless steppe of beautiful Poxova. I can't wait. Yeah. Going on an adventure. We took our hat off. Look at our hair. I didn't know we had such beautiful hair. He took his hat off after all these years, and all of a sudden these locks flow out. I am stunned and shocked. I probably should have taken the hat off myself just to see, but jeez, look at this man. It changes your perspective on him a little bit, doesn't it? As we pass through the barony of Pokrovsk, a jubilant local approaches my entourage. Her smile stretches from ear to ear. I discern that she is offering a warm welcome, but the finer aspects of her speech are sadly lost on me. Be that as it may, I wave away my attentive companions and return her joyful greeting. I can hardly imagine a more excellent chance to practice my East Slavic. So, here we go. Have a simple but pleasant conversation. I'm feeling a little feisty today. Or join us in our journey. We don't know how she's surviving out here on her own with a dead husband and being blind. Hey, you should join us on our journey. Come on. Camp is almost always accepting more people. Udallard in hiding. My son Udallard came to me complaining about Gabolamana bullying him. he has been hiding all over the castle to avoid facing the other child. Why not hide in your room instead? Ugh. I mean, arbitrary, I think, is what we would go with personally, because we ourselves are arbitrary. Well, we're not arbitrary, we're fickle. But those feel like they're related, right? Fickle does whatever it wants, and arbitrary sort of does whatever it feels like. Similar. Okay, so we've arrived on our little hike. What have you? We found a patch of wild berries. Nice. Met a group of traders. Ooh, some money. Despite my many expectations, this day has unfolded in an overwhelmingly quaint and quiet manner. Initially, I found myself peeking up at every sight and sound. However, as time passed, nothing stood out as particularly memorable, and my attention began to wane. Gradually, though, I find myself appreciating the time I spend with Yusiana. Nothing of importance comes up, but it is enjoyable nonetheless. Maybe this is just what I needed. Stress down? Okay, nice. Can always use a good stress down, right? It is getting late in the day when we finally arrive at a small river with no bridge in sight. I look as best I can, but there is nothing to be seen on the other side. In some ways, it feels like the border between the last vestiges of civilization and the unknown wilderness on the other side. I take a moment to sit down and rest my feet. Occasionally, I feel like I can see something moving on the other side of the water, like something is watching me, but I cannot make anything out. A good stopping point, I think. We rest by a gentle waterfall. We found some nesting birds. Nice. Long before it comes into view, I smell the scent of burning wood and flesh. Upon my arrival, all I can see is the smoldering husk of what must once have been a huge farm. I hear Yusiana talking to my guards. There is neither anyone nor anything left to save. All that remains is the ashes of a home and those who lived here. Find the remains and give them a proper rest. That event is strangely interesting, you know? It reminds us when in our youth we saved some people from a fire. With one last step, I finally leave the steppe around Pokrova. I look back one last time, reminiscing about my journey through the steppe. In this tranquil place, I have been able to put all my worries aside and return a rejuvenated, changed man. Reluctantly, I turn around, put the memories aside, and start heading home to the duties that are surely waiting for me. Such is the way of life. Ah, nice. And then, once we're home, we'll tell everybody that there's another journey we need to take, the most important journey of all, the one that we came here for. Our new young friend, Sheikh Daniel, has told us that there truly is a Vardosky king in Kiev. It is done, my friend. Though I do hope you come back and visit before you leave. I will, I think. You know, I am not going all at once now. I'm going to formally ask permission to enter the city and all. Then I will have to return. Possibly there will be some work to do and we'll be here for a while longer. But eventually, you know, a man like myself, I have to get back onto the road. Can't stay here forever. No, I know, but please write. Ah, of course. Like my sister, it will be much easier to write to you than it has been some of the other people who have asked, since you're relatively stationary. But you have gotten a bit of the adventurer's sense into me. I feel I need to move. Well, the way that landed men move is different than the way that those of us with no responsibilities do. And he is our ancestor, and he has the book, the ancient book. So we are going to go and we are going to formally ask him permission to stay in his kingdom before we move the camp permanently. We're going to represent that with a monument expedition. Of course, we could do a monument expedition to Kiev because it contains... Oh, no, not yet. We don't know. We don't know this exists yet. First, we go to Kiev because the Golden Gates of Kiev are something that are known worldwide. If I bring scribes with me, we get an extra chance to increase our skill, but we get 2 more monks. This is knowledge hoarding. I think we're going to do cultural acceptance and strong hooks this time. We will start the monument expedition. I can't wait. 2 brand new monks. For the first time, Christian ones. A monk and a nun. Let's go. We are finally getting to the place we set out to reach all those many, many years ago. All the evidence has pointed towards there truly being a king of our blood in the kingdom of Ruthenia, which is now one of the most powerful kingdoms in the region, possibly one of the most powerful kingdoms in the world. Yeah, it's one of the big boys, Ruthenia. So you want to marry this woman, but you need money. Of course, I'll help. We'll make it back in a few days, it's fine. So many requests we could make. I mean, we probably should get as much money as we can. Provisions are also useful. Provisions are useful. Provisions are useful. Provisions turn into money if you have too many of them anyway. We will ask for gold. And you will give us provisions, but we will not accept. All right, we have arrived. We have come to ask formal permission to move our camp into our relative's domain. We shall begin by taking advantage of our... Oh, we can't. Oh, we'll have to move here first before we can do that. But we will formally meet him, right? While we're here and talk to him. Our culture contains the ability to become friends for all people. And I think that we will take advantage of that. I think we will seek to increase our diplomatic skills since we're here as an envoy to the king, warning him that our camp comes, that this is where our journey intends to end. Good kid. Nobody does well in his education. Kiev here is one of the strongest development places in the world at this point. It is just, we set it up so well that the AI could simply not ruin it. It's as simple as that. It is flying up. Extremely wealthy, extremely powerful, and a wealthy king due to that, with an enormously powerful army and an ever-growing kingdom. We have learned the local language. Well, we learned East Slavic. Pretty sure that's everybody here, right? Yeah. Hungary is sort of pressing in on Zaporizhia now. Monument Expedition, a name eternal. We are now exalted among men. As I walk the grounds, I spot a peculiar marking on one of the walls making up the Golden Gate of Kiev. So we could write our name. Bernat Hugh, friend of the Russians, walked here. No, I think we will write our name so that we are remembered. As the distant form of imposing structure emerge, a sense of awe stirs as I approach. Approaching the Golden Gate of Kiev, I am awestruck by its vibrant grandeur. The gate, serving as an entry to the city, resonates with the sounds of commerce. Its robust architecture, standing as a testament to the city's might, continues to inspire reverence and a sense of connection to Kiev's glorious past. I shall mingle with the locals. I'm so glad that I get to share this moment with my wife. Let's become better friends with our life. I approach a brutish-looking man carrying an impressive collection of furs. In his stand, he seems a prolific hunter. I've got ermine, sparrow, stag. Get your meats and pelts here, he shouts. Suddenly, he looks at me straight in the eye, gazing as a piercing wolf. Ah, master, for you, I have the most royal of all meat. Wolf. I think we're going to buy the boar tusk. I think we're buying the boar tusk. Well, I mean, we already did buy the boar tusk. Let's take off that and put the boar tusk on. Take pity upon Gleb. A few coins is all I need, a man begs. So, poor soil. Yeah, so we're going to ask him to guide us and we'll give him money in exchange. That'll help us improve our chances of getting an extra attribute point. I must never forget what I learned here. So we only got one, but that's fine. And so we have gone to the city of Kiev. We have seen the Golden Gate and we have formally asked the King of Ruthenia permission to move our camp there. Master Bernat Hugh, my cousin was right about you. You are a fascinating and engaging man, and I would be happy to host your camp in the city of Kiev. Thank you, that's what I was hoping that you would say. I do wish to stay here for some time. I have been hoping to... Oh, yes, I thought so. Daniel said something about it. You wanted to see the book. Yes, I do. It is of great academic interest to me. You know, I would likely give it to you if you asked. My grandfather was absolutely obsessed with it, and I really have no use for it. I don't want it. You know, I'd like to read it, and I would like to include some of its stories in the book that I write myself. But now that I have seen where my roots are, it's time for the tree to grow. Maybe I am too old for that myself, but there is my son, and he I think will plant his seeds someplace else, and I will give him my own book to start his legacy, our legacy, which I think we will do at the beginning of next episode. We're still strong for a 67-year-old man. We still got some years in us, and we're starting to get close to our decision. What is that decision? Well, we have to decide between the wolf and the serpent. The sea serpent is the mother of our legendary ancestor, the Greek, that is going down to Greece. Then there's the wolf. The wolf is the father of our great ancestor, and that means going north to the land of the Nords, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. I think he's going to choose the serpent and go south because everybody in the family so far has chosen the sea, and I don't think he's any differently inclined, but I am going to have a good think about it. You know, they've all chosen the warm Mediterranean and not the cold north of the wolf, but in the very beginning, Demetrius was very close to choosing the cold wolf, and what Bernat Hugh will do, I do not yet know. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me in the next episode where we discover that together. Goodbye for now.